And I think you're going to have an event the likes of which maybe the world has never seen. Based on the enthusiasm that I've seen, I have never seen anything like it. We've had a tremendous relationship, working relationship with Canada. We have our Prime Minister of Canada there, and we have our President of Mexico. And we've worked closely with those two.
While the build-up to the 2026 World Cup has been overshadowed by controversy in other countries, the story in Canada is completely different. Canada is quietly preparing for one of the biggest economic paydays in its modern history, because behind the headlines, behind the group stage drama, behind the debates about FIFA, there's a much bigger game being played. And it's not happening on the pitch. It's happening in boardrooms, in trade offices, in diplomatic meetings, in billion-dollar investment deals. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is projected to inject billions of dollars into the Canadian economy. And that number isn't speculation. It's based on hard economic modeling tied to tourism spending, infrastructure upgrades, job creation, and long-term foreign investment flows. But here's what most people are missing. Canada hasn't just been preparing for a tournament. Canada has been preparing for a global economic showcase. For years, Canadian leadership has been aggressively positioning the country on the global stage, expanding trade relationships, diversifying away from over-reliance on the United States, and locking in foreign capital from Europe, the Middle East, and Asia. So when the world's attention finally shifts to North America in 2026, Canada won't just be hosting games. It will be hosting opportunities. The financial realities of this tournament became crystal clear in December 2025, during the official World Cup draw in Washington, D.C. That event wasn't just a sporting ceremony. It was a geopolitical signal. Canadian officials made it clear this tournament is as much about global business as it is about football. Canada landed in Group B. That means matches against Switzerland, the European playoff winner, and Qatar. And from an economic standpoint, this is a near-perfect scenario. Switzerland is one of the wealthiest countries in the world in terms of GDP per capita. Swiss tourists rank among the highest global spenders per traveler. Now imagine tens of thousands of those visitors arriving in Toronto. The economic ripple effect multiplies fast. And then there's Qatar. The Canada versus Qatar match on June 18th in Vancouver isn't just a group stage fixture. It's a case study in long-term economic positioning. Years before this draw ever happened, Canadian leadership was already strengthening economic bridges with the Middle East. High-level diplomatic visits to Qatar focused heavily on expanding bilateral trade, energy cooperation, and sovereign wealth partnerships. And it doesn't stop with the Middle East. Canada has also aggressively pushed into emerging markets, including extensive trade missions to India, Indo-Pacific nations, and European partners. Why? Diversification. For decades, Canada has been economically tied closely to the United States, but smart long-term policy means reducing vulnerability by expanding comprehensive trade partnerships elsewhere. The World Cup accelerates that visibility. When billions of viewers tune in globally, they aren't just seeing matches played in Toronto and Vancouver. This is about a nation trying to prove it's no longer just a hockey country. Let's look at the superstars Jesse Marsch has called up, the fitness of the Big Three, and the massive economic gamble Canada is making by betting everything on this trophy. The 2026 call-ups are headlined by three men who have rewritten what it means to be a Canadian footballer. Alphonso Davies, the comeback. He is the face of the nation. After that terrifying ACL injury in early 2025, there were doubts he'd ever be the same. But Davies is back. He's been lights out for Bayern Munich, playing both wings and fullback. For Canada, he's the X factor. Jonathan David, the Iceman in Italy. Jonathan David is currently one of the most clinical strikers in the world. Since moving to Juventus, he's found a new level of maturity. There are rumors he's heading to the Premier League this summer, but right now his eyes are on the golden boot. He is the clinical finisher Canada has lacked in decades past, Steven Eustachio. He left Porto for a loan spell at LAFC specifically to get 90 minutes every single week leading up to June. He's sacrificing European prestige to ensure his legs are ready for the World Cup grind. That is the definition of all in. It's not just the Big Three. Tajon Buchanan is coming off a hat trick in Spain, and Moise Bombito is anchoring a defense that is finally looking world-class. Jesse Marsch has built a squad with depth we've never seen before. But why is Canada so bent on winning this? It's not just about sports, it's about the World Cup effect on the economy. The Canadian government and private investors have poured billions into infrastructure. They aren't just hosting, they are rebranding. By winning or even making a deep run to the semifinals, Canada stays in the global news cycle for weeks. This isn't just ticket sales. It's a projected $1.5 to $2 billion boost in tourism and hospitality. Do you think Canada can actually lift the trophy on home soil? And is the economic boost worth the investment? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit subscribe for more.